I'm going to go straight to, we spent a lot of time discussing these questions. We discussed what discovery science was about first, but, and, you know, well, maybe I should just say briefly that, you know, we were talked about intense amounts of sensor experimental data that's available and bringing AI and learning techniques together to really advance things. But then we spent a lot of time talking about the actual questions, so I'll go to that. In terms of societal challenges, you know, I mean, science, we're the bit of the project, if you like, that doesn't directly connect to, you know, commercial enterprises as immediately as some of the other things, but we talked just about the general impact of science on actually sustaining a planet of 7 billion people, but then we kind of went on to what efforts the Spoke can take on other kinds of collaborations that maybe this sort of other activities won't. So one was this notion that comes up a lot around matchmaking, networking people, connecting people, sharing best practices. The other was bringing challenges forward from the science fields for the machine learning, AI, and other big data communities. We have another set of things we mentioned. That's just to accelerate the time to impact, so helping to streamline the kind of workflows. Informing an informed data technology, a data/technology policy from the science needs. So injecting information into kind of policy discussions, which can actually, you know, have a severe impact on what things we can or can't do. Data discovery, preservation, reproducibility, the institutions of kind of memory, you know, institutional memory are particularly germane to kind of science in the long term. And then we also talked about, you know, this Spoke having, you know, a lot of interesting things in terms of engaging the broader community, citizen science, and public awareness. So those were kind of on the societal challenges and opportunities question. So then in terms of what kinds of workshops, so we talked through this quite a bit. I think there was a lot of interest in thinking about the future of kind of digital data curation and regional activities that could actually, you know, explore some ideas in this space. So sharing lessons learned around data management, reproducibility, exchanging data across silos. So a lot of the interesting things come through sharing data, you know, between different domains these days as well. And also there was an interesting discussion on just the kind of economics of that. What are the incentives? What are the disincentives? How would you kind of, you know, build an economic model that kind of, or an economic system that kind of encouraged or provided value to everybody around whatever data it made sense to share. Another workshop on, you know, more under the hood's kind of infrastructure stuff, so looking at what existing infrastructure models and future infrastructure challenges are really coming down the pipe in terms of large-scale science things. And then a final thought on the thing we could do regionally in the sort of workshop space is really to try and pilot some testbed activities that, you know, essentially identify grand challenges in this area. We have a lot of people who research in the kind of discovery science area. Think about some testbed challenges for the kind of, to engage the machine learning, AI, and the policy ethics and big data community in general from this area. What kind of partnerships would enable the Spoke to successfully pursue the challenges, and how would they form? A lot of discussion about making sure we work actively with libraries. I think, you know, also, and how, some discussion about how maybe the hub can help with that. The same around kind of cross-institution collaboration / competition in various forms. How, you know, this sort of Spoke and a hub can kind of help with that. Then a number of things, so engaging with states to kind of talk about the value proposition of these things, both within an individual state and regionally. Partnerships with the kind of core service providers that we all rely on, so the research and education network, computing facilities, and so on, that are all critical to everything. Partnerships with publishers and cloud providers. Partnerships kind of with the IT service professionals, so the infrastructure layer, that's the humans who provide the kind of technical resources that are specialized in this area. Some discussion around engagement with the federal government on sort of evidence-based policy, and also a bit on higher education. Then resources for the hub. I just want to go quickly through this. So I think, you know, lowering the barriers for sort of collaborative things, are things that the hub could provide. So lower friction industry interfaces, lower friction methods for inter-institution collaboration, helping share knowledge between spokes. The RU CRC model came up as something that's been successful, as someone else said, helping raise funds to support strategic regional activities. We did discuss, mutually leveraging things that already exist, don't start over again or duplicate things. And really we saw the hub as a kind of thought leadership, connection, matchmaking service more than an infrastructure thing. And then, just in terms of proposals submitted, so there is one in the neuro area. We talked a lot about how probably the libraries community should have been more engaged in this and maybe isn't in there. And then there was a little discussion about the fact that the deadline for the Northeast letter of intent seems a bit earlier than all the other hubs. So, well, yeah, but anyhow. And whether that was to our advantage or to our disadvantage, that was kind of the game theory of it.